in the world. I'm the 90% underdog. Now I'm kind of in the thick of what CRL really is, which is I won one match, but can I do what the best do? And can I carry this through to the finals? And we're going to see right now if he can stack up against one of the best in Samuel Bassotto, who looks like he's coming out with some RG to start this fray into his CRL 2025 journey.
We see a log miner and bats, and there is the mortar from Yoru. I actually like this matchup for Yoru once again. We have seen Mortar lose versus RG so far today, but I think that Samuel is not going to have that Skelly King Tombstone spam version of RG, and I think that's going to allow the Cannoneer to get some good value on defense, and he's going to have the miner as well as a overwhelming swarm for offense going for Yoru here as well.
Yeah, since we see the miner out early from Yoru, I'm curious what exactly the version is that he's running. And yeah, maybe as you said before, since Mortar does stack up well against RG at times, you know, a lot of times, honestly, we'll see if Yoru can do that against Samuel, who is also one of the best RG players out there.
Monk in the back. We see a Golden Knight coming out for Yoru here. Golden Knight does struggle quite a bit versus the Monk. The Monk just has more HP and he does a little bit more damage. Golden Knight's definitely not going to get much value in this matchup.
Yeah, this version has been a little bit more popular. There was that version that we were talking about with the guards, Ice Wiz, Boss Bandit, that was super popular for a few days, and then now it seems like this newer version with, I mean, well, this version, it's like changed a little bit. There's a few of them out there, some with Spears and Gob Gang, and Lightning, so we'll see exactly which version Yoru is running as we are still experiencing just a little bit of lag. Okay. And yeah, this is what we're talking about with that Goblin Hunt. It's fascinating when it's played closer to units or in different spots. You can see it just pops out those goblins at a rapid rate. Lightning comes in to clean up that mortar. 1749, 2008. Yoru does have the lead by a bit.
Yep. Yeah, I think that Samuel, his goal here is to try to mitigate damage. He wants to play same lane. He wants to get Lightnings out on offense, but Yoru actually has the Lightning as well. That's a big game changer here. That's going to make it so all the things I just said is not possible because the Lightning is going to be constantly coming out onto the Hunters, getting a lot of chip damage. And Yoru, I mean, now, yeah, he's just setting up for the Mortar on defense, and he's going to try and get the minor Lightnings down on offense to try and close this game.
So here we go. Monk ability comes in to help out against the Ice Wiz, the Mortar, the Goblins. Second mortar comes down. Evo RG trying to get some damage in. 1550 to 1142 as a mortar shot goes in on that hut. And the miner in to tank for those Evo bats. And there's the other Lightning coming in. Samuel feeling like he's out of options right now.
Yeah, he's really just 2 Lightnings away from winning this game. Samuel, knowing that there's not much time left, going for the Monk, not all the way in the back, but slightly forward because he needs to make the push right now. Here comes the Evo Hunter. Going to drop down, and we will see a Monk ability as well, deflecting the Cannoneer, deflecting the Ice Wiz, but I won't be able to deflect the mortar shot. And a Lightning does come on offense, but it is not able to hit the Ice Wiz. RG does get a shot, but now it's Yoru's time to attack.
Yeah, Yoru gonna have to pour it on here, but he doesn't have a ton of elixir to do so. E-Spirit gonna clean up all those bats. 437, 689, and Yoru right now doing a bunch of math in his head. How can I get 2 Lightnings out of the board? How can I make this game end?
And he tries to make it end with the Golden Knight, the bridge plus ability, but it is not able to work. Samuel might have a chance to break through, but the RG does not get a shot. Monk ability does deflect. Wait, one Lightning will win the game now, and Samuel catches the miner. Lightning on offense, Miner gets a hit, and Yoru takes the victory before Samuel can get another Lightning on the tower.
G with Monk, then he goes Mortar, Miter, Poison with Valk, then he goes to Mortar, Miner, Golden Knight with Lightning. So he does seem to like Mortar in the meta at the moment. Looks like he might be going Drill now. Like it seems like he's favoring faster cycle in these next couple, or in his most recent couple games. But in general, he's kind of been all over the meta, which I love to see as Samuel gets an early mortar connection.
Bean drops down, stops the mortar to 1 shot. It's counter pushing here. He does not go for a Goblin Drill on the counter push. He's waiting to play the Queen ability. You get as much value, taking out the entire Skelly King.
Drill comes in, Fire Spirit to clean up the spears, Snowball to clean up everything else.
Interesting. Witch tries to defend the drill, but the skeletons aren't spawned quick enough. We see a lot of early damage for Yoru here. I'm sure he's very happy with that. And now he just needs to set up defense. He decides to go for the queen here. Samuel, if he has a lightning, decides not to use it in this situation. But looks like he actually used a miner in the previous game. Shout out to Stats Royale for the help on that. So Samuel not going to have the lightning version, but since he has log, it makes me think he does have another spell. Probably going to be a fireball.
Cannon up high to defend. 2056 is the lowest tower on the board against 2470, but you take into account the tower starting at lower HP, and then actually pretty much an even game here as the rocket comes out for Yoru to take out that mortar. Obviously a -2 trade, so Samuel's going to take the 10, see how he wants to start. Evo Witch in the back.
Evo Witch going to get decent value in this matchup. Even though Yoru does have the rocket for it, if he's able to force the rocket out onto the Witch every time, it's going to be difficult for him to get damage. And then that Valkyrie for the last card for Yoru.
Yeah, wow.
And do a great job of just really clutching defense versus the Witch versus the Skelly King. That's a power play.
Oh, and that's a great snowball to come in. Log comes out, and AQ does get her ability off last second. So Samuel has to overspend there. And this is a version of More that I've actually seen popping up more and more over the last couple days. I personally haven't tried it yet, though. I do love the synergy of the Skeleton King with this, with all the spammy cards, and of course the Skeleton King in conjunction with the Evo Witch. Obviously his skeleton is going to keep her alive as well. So I like the idea of it, although right now not quite, at least not demanding the lead, if we will, because this game is still very, very close. 21-27 to 18-96.
Mortar at the bridge, applying pressure. He locks in the cannon first, and then we'll go to the Valk after. Cannon to try and take it out. We see a lot of damage coming through here with this Goblin Drill. Log is going to clean up most of the Goblins, though. And then we do see a counter push here, but the rocket immediately. I like that play. Look at that.
That's a really good rocket from Yoru, because that was a really great exchange there for Samuel to keep that Evo Witch alive, to take out the Drill and the Archer Queen, and to get down his Skeleton King just in time. So it was a scary push. Yoru had just 7 elixir. Great way to deal with it. So right now, these two guys are trying to figure out how to break on through. Evo Snowball comes in early on. That's going to allow a decent amount of damage to get in. 15-24. Fireball goes in on top of the Goblins to catch that Miner. 1498, and separated by just about 30 HP. Rocket coming in. So now we're going to go to Rocket Cycle, it looks like, here for Yoru.
Yep.
Rocket comes in for Yoru, 1127 to 1498. Mortar on the right-hand side does connect, but not really doing anything there, Juices. That Miner comes back in on the left.
Wow,
very
close.
even here. 1095, 1047, as a Miner goes back in with Fireball, which is Miner Fireball spam going up against Rocket spam.
Rocket Chuck at the bridge. There comes the Goblin Drill. Gob Gang predicted and helps to cycle the Miner. Miner Fireball does hit Goblins. Log does clean the gang. The Miner's getting a lot of chip, and another Miner in cycle already, even if the Rocket is there in time.
Cycle.
Yeah, Samuel going to be taking game number 2.
Being kind of frustrated with it sometimes late game, especially if my opponent has a lot of answers.
All right, so we are into game number 3. Samuel starting with an Ice Spirit. Yoru starting Ice Spirit. Samuel does have the Evo Ice Spirit, though. And now we see a leak from both players. Waiting for the next play. And guards from Samuel Bassotto.
And I believe the loser of this match will go on to play against Sosaa. I think that it populates from the bottom up so that there isn't a chance for Yoru to have to play Riley again. but obviously we'll figure that out when we get there. Boss Bandit plus Exy. Haven't seen the Evo Exy yet today, so excited to see that big guy come out. We'll see if he's very effective. One thing that is not effective is the Boss Bandit straight up against Piggies. So Samuel eats a lot of damage there, but the missed Tesla, and now the Boss Bandit does go to King. Oh no, it doesn't go to King Tower. Those skeletons actually ended up being a problem there for Yoru. So 1965 to 1720. Samuel up by a couple elixir, but an Evo Witch on the board. So kind of even. Yoru, I guess, kind of came out on top.
Yeah, I guess so. This is so wild to see the Boss Bandit dashing everywhere, the Royal Hogs inbound, the Witch spawning skeletons. There's just so many wild and wacky interactions that happen with these new champions. And here's another one. Evo actually going to drop down. It does double damage when anything is close enough to him. And he also has a knockback when things are close as well. And Samuel wants to try to abuse the Evo Executioner even more. Going for the Boss Bandit, the bridge, it one-shots the Ice Spirit. The Boss Bandit's dashing into the roll delivery. The Tesla drops down. Bad ability. Really bad ability, in my opinion. If he didn't play the ability in that situation, he would have dashed directly to the tower, and Evo Exy would have stayed alive. So that's going to keep Yoru just barely in the game.
Yep, and he probably would have been able to get the second dash off still, would Samuel have. So 1545 and 1464. I mean, shockingly, because of how bad that first interaction went with the Boss Bandit against the Royal Hogs, Yoru is still kind of in it, but as you can see now, and you can even see on Yoru's expression, it is heavily tipping towards Samuel's favor, as these Boss Bandits plus Exy combos have been trouble for him to take care of.
Tesla up high to prevent the Boss Bandit from dashing once again, but the Ram Rider now is a big threat since the other lane tower is not helping on the defense, and Yoru has to play the second roll delivery of the defense, putting him down a bit of damage, or sorry, a bit of elixir here.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because Yoru's actually technically in the lead, but every single time he plays defense, it feels like he's wildly overspending and misses the Boss Bandit there. So now the Ram Rider has a free shot on that tower. Second Tesla does come down.
Wow. And once again, he's just holding on for dear life. He is overspending, but he is somehow staying in this, up by only 5 HP now, though. It seems like every push Samuel does, he gets closer and closer to taking that damage lead.
Yeah, and like you said, even though he is overspending, he does somehow continue to defend, and we've seen that 7 elixir in the tank for Sam and only 3 or 4 elixir in the tank for Yoru after those defenses, but it actually hasn't swung heavily in his favor yet. But as you said, chipping away every single time he breaks through is Samuel.
Boss Bandit takes out the Tesla, and he tries to the ability.
There we go, bad ability again.
Yeah, I agree. I think if he didn't hit the ability there, the animation for the attack would actually take out this Witch. Executioner does get the job done, but I mean, that's what Clash Royale is all about. It's all about min-maxing every single elixir spent to try to get the elixir lead, to try to get the damage on the tower.
An aggressive RG plus Exy at the bridge as a Ram Rider cycled in the back right-hand side for Samuel. Piggies come across 1084 to 1314 now as Yoru has taken the lead. This is game number 3. One of these guys will be sent to the lower bracket.
Witch, barely staying alive, is going to clutch the defense versus the first Ram Rider, but here comes another. Executioner misses the Witch once again. This Witch is literally on 1 HP, finally going down. But the defense is successful, and here comes the counterattack. Samuel is predicting the Pigs. He might be able to defend this and get one more counter push, Andrew.
Wow. Yeah, and he needs a big counter push because that Earthquake comes in right now, as you can see, bringing that tower down to 788. Here's the Ram Rider. You know Tesla's going to come out. Boss Bandit gets on top of the Tesla, and that isn't going to do it in time. 1128 stands for Yoru as he takes down the world number 2 and the former world number 3 in his first ever CRL showing, as Samuel's first round bye gets thrown to the wind and he is sent down to the elimination bracket.
Who is this guy, Andrew? Yoru taking out. He's taking out Riley. Now he's taking out Samuel.